Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining us, shooting and broadcasting directly from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Carisma, a beautiful, gorgeous, adults-only resort in the heart of Riviera Maya. Continuing with today's information, there is a brand new invention that could make cars 40% more fuel efficient. That's right, you heard correctly. Growing environmental awareness has led to efforts from Mexican scientists who seek new ways to use energy resources more efficiently and responsibly. With this in mind, engineering students from the Atlitalica Technological Institute of the Mexican state of Hidalgo created a gasoline-saving device that works solely on water. This device may become a standard inclusion for gasoline-fueled vehicles, as the students who invented it have demonstrated that it could allow users to save up to 40% more fuel. This device was distinguished nationally as one of the best 3 engineering projects in the first Interinstitutional Young Researchers Congress. The device was awarded due to its innovation and its potential impact. The mechanism consists of a box 8 inches high and 12 inches wide, a 1-liter water container, and an electrolyte cell. It uses an electric current to break down ionized substances. Once this entire process is reached, the small box dissociates the water molecules in order to obtain hydrogen gas, which in return maximizes the use of fuel. The gas is injected to the combustion chamber through a safety control system formed by electro valves that control the flow of hydrogen gas. Once the gas reaches the combustion chamber, fuel consumption is reduced, explained Daniel Serrano, mechatronic engineering student from the Hidalgo-based institute. This device was created to be used in conventional automobiles, and through its patent, even though its patent is still pending, it was exhibited at a meeting organized by the National Board of Science and Technology of Mexico. Maximilian I of Mexico is a controversial character in the Mexican history. Born as a nobleman in the 19th century in Vienna, he found an empire and a tragic end in this land. His dreams, joys, and worries are today the subject of a documentary film by Mexican Public Television in collaboration with public broadcasters from Europe. These are Austria's Österreichscher Rundfunk, Germany's Zweites Deutsches Fernsehen, and the Franco-German Association relative à la Télévision Européenne. Last week, the television channel of the National Autonomous University of Mexico, TV UNAM, presented the documentary titled Maximilian of Mexico, Dreams of Power at the National Museum of History at Chapultepec Castle in Mexico City. The castle sits atop a hill over 7,000 feet above the sea level, which historically once served as a sacred area for the ancient Aztec Empire and subsequently served as the royal residence of Maximilian and his wife Charlotte of Belgium. The $503,000 US production was filmed in different locations in Austria, Belgium, Italy, France, and Mexico, of course. Every single one of these historical places that hold the essence and memories of Maximilian's life. The director of this documentary, Franz Leopold Schmelzer, stated that this co-production seeks to show the human and emotional side of the deposed emperor. The premiere was attended by the president of Mexico's National Council of Cultural and Arts, Mr. Rafael Tovar y de Teresa, the rector of the University of the Autonomous University of Mexico, Mr. José Navarro Robles, the Austrian ambassador of Mexico, Ms. Eva Hager, and the director of the National Institute of Anthropology and History, Ms. Maria Teresa Franco. Also present at this gala night were actor Jürgen Endel Kapaun, Victoria Hillisch, and Alberto Acosta, all of whom had roles as characters in the documentary's dramatization of events. Maximilian of Mexico is not the first production featuring collaboration between public broadcasters of Mexico and Austria. Back in the year 2014, TV UNAM released a documentary on a headdress which currently rests in Vienna's Museum of Ethnology and is believed to have belonged once to the late Aztec emperor, the grand and one and only Moctezuma. Mexican musician, proud of his roots. Music is a language that all humans share, carrying it into their veins. This is something Arturo O'Farrill is well aware of. Being the son of a great musician, Chico O'Farrill, Arturo inherited a sense for music, particularly the kind that involves African elements as part of its cultural heritage. Born in Mexico City to a Cuban father and a Mexican mother, he later on moved to New York City, where he was raised and has been living ever since. He studied in the Manhattan School of Music, the Conservatory of Music at Brooklyn College, and at the Aaron Copland School of Music. His father was a pioneer of Afro-Cuban jazz. A legend in the business, he created the Afro-Cuban Jazz Orchestra, which Arturo then took the lead of in 1995 and maintained as the resident band at Birdland NYC nightclub for 15 years. Arturo O'Farrill, a master pianist who has played solo in bands all over the world, has created music that reaches the deepest parts of the soul. He has stated that his musical inspiration comes in large parts from his African roots, saying that Caribbean and Latin music overall have an African heritage and should be acknowledged as such. The Huffington Post quoted him by saying in early February that this music would never exist without Africa, without African voices. Arturo O'Farrill is a big proponent of the Latin jazz music scene, creating innovating sounds, playing the music he loves with the people he loves, for the people he loves. It is an effort that has paid off, most recently having himself win the Grammy Award for Best Latin Jazz Album for his project, The Offense of the Drum, credited to Arturo O'Farrill and the Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra. An example of pride in one's roots, he also founded the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance, better known as ALJA, which is a nonprofit organization committed to preserving the tradition of big band Latin jazz by educating young people to understand and perform their musical heritage. The ALJA offers programs for young musicians and new audiences. This is a true example of Mexican pride and joy by expressing their emotions, movements, and so forth through arts. This was all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Elisa Carballo, and we will be seeing you next time.